Hey guys, it's Fiona. Welcome to my channel. When I posted this photo on Instagram, you guys really loved it and asked me how I did it. So today I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to create the drip effect city skyline silhouette. Alright, let's get cracking. Things you'll need: watercolor paper, water, eyedropper, paint brushes, watercolor paint, palette, ruler, pencil and rubber, white gel pens, and a city silhouette. I got mine from Shutterstock. So I'm using an upright easel because it makes it a bit easier to film what I'm doing. You don't have to, obviously, but I would recommend you tape it down so that the paper won't buckle as much when it gets wet. What you want to start off doing is drawing a line with a pencil and ruler that's a few centimeters above the midpoint of the page, and this will be the baseline for the city skyline. Next step is to paint the outline of the buildings that will be in the foreground using watercolor that I have diluted a little bit. I like to keep the image on the side as a point of reference. You can sketch it out in pencil first if you're not confident painting straight onto the page, and I like to start in the middle of the page so that I can make sure the main buildings are centered. Apply the first wash of colour to paint in the front of the buildings, and I did some light blending at this stage, but it doesn't matter if it's not perfect because you can always paint over many more coats to intensify the colour. For the background buildings, I'm going to dilute the watercolor even more before I start painting because I want it to look shadowy and distant. So now we want to connect the buildings together, and we'll do this by painting a strip that we'll later letter our quote on. Now for the exciting drip effect. It actually works better if the page is drier. The paint's still wet here, so as you can see it's kind of pooling at the bottom. But anyway, so I've tilted the easel to an almost 90-degree angle. If you're not using an easel, you can just hold the page at that approximate angle. I'm using my eyedropper to create starting points for where I want the droplets to run down the page, and I'm also using my paintbrush to help the drip start. This is seriously the funnest part and so easy to go overboard. Okay, so once everything's dry, I'm going to go ahead and start lettering the quote, "Home is where the heart is." So I wrote out my quote on a strip of paper first, so I have a bit of a guide to follow as to where to put the letters on the real thing. You want to letter slowly. Once that's done, I'm going to start drawing in the tiny details like windows and doors using my white gel pen. And that's it. Take a photo, Instagram it, tag me, I'd love to see them. Sit back and admire your work.